team and university and departmental rules.
New at 9, should people at the DA's office be allowed to sign a recall petition against the governor when their office is investigating his former staffers? That's really the question of the hour ever since we learned that a big chunk of the DA's office did sign those recall petitions. Our Henry Rossoff confronted the DA about this. Henry's in the newsroom.
And the DA says there's not much he can do if his employees sign the recall petition. He calls it their legal right to do so.
We released it in the interest of providing transparency and accountability.
Conservative watchdog group Media Tracker says 43 lawyers and staffers working for the Milwaukee County District Attorney's Office, including a deputy district attorney, signed a Governor Walker recall petition. It's about 1 out of every 7 people who work for the DA.
When their office perhaps happens to have a culture of engaging in the political process in a somewhat partisan fashion, that's always of interest.
Perhaps one of the most interesting cases, Media Tracker's spokesman Brian Sigma points out, is Janet Ahlstrom. She's a secretary for the DA's Public Integrity Unit. That's the office handling most high-profile investigations into public corruption, including the much-publicized John Doe investigation, which has led to several former Scott Walker County staffers being charged.
When you have people charged with enforcing the law on public officials, yet perhaps also participating in a partisan process, that might raise concerns with some folks.
We reach out to District Attorney John Chisholm. He tells us on the phone he's aware of the situation, but Chisholm explains that the Voting Rights Act and local Wisconsin laws stop him from discouraging most of his employees from signing recall petitions, telling us, quote, "I have to follow the law." Chisholm says only the lawyers within his Public Integrity Unit have an ethical obligation not to sign, one that's enforced by the Wisconsin Supreme Court. But their staffers, including Ahlstrom, have, quote, no ethical obligation. And Chisholm says the only advice he can legally give his staffers on signing political petitions is to, quote, follow their conscience.
In the future, we're going to be continuing to do these types of reports on DA's offices, in particular because we find that they're the ones charged with public integrity and holding politicians accountable.
Media Trackers is also alleging more assistant DAs and staff members may have signed the petition, but they could not confirm it, nor could we. Live in the newsroom, Henry Rossoff, Fox 6 News.
Henry, thank you. Meanwhile, Democrats Kathleen Falk and Tom